Hi guys. Sorry I can't attend class today, but I'm going to continue with my part. So I'm going to address Piaget's 4 stages of cognitive development. So the first stage that will be addressed is sensory motor stage. So this stage occurs from birth through 2 years old. So some major characteristics that happen at this stage is that children learn to crawl, walk, suck, grasp, looking and listening as well. So another thing that these children learn at this stage is that they continue to learn things that exist when they cannot be seen. So this is addressed as object permanence. Piaget believed that this event was the most important event that could happen at this stage. So an example of this would be that a child sees a toy, and an adult comes in and hides the toy with a blanket and doesn't see anymore. So the child is observing and as well as thinking like, okay, what happened to this toy? But as often as they're getting addressed in this practice, they start learning and developing, involving throughout each stage. So another thing that children learn and realize that their actions cause things to happen as well at this stage. So moving on to the second stage, which is a pre-operational stage. This stage occurs from 2 to 7 years old. So some major characteristics that children learn through this stage are that they learn to use words, pictures to represent objects, but they do struggle to see things from other people's perspective. They become better at language and thinking, but tends to think in concrete terms only. So an example of this would be that an educator and a child are having a snack together. So let's just say they're having like 2 graham crackers, one each, one of the long ones, and the educator breaks one of the crackers in half. So the educator gives the child the first option. So, well, giving the choices actually, sorry, addressing like, okay, which one would you like? The child would automatically pick the one that has 2 pieces. So children, as we all know, children want more of everything, and the child picked 2, but doesn't realize or understand that the cracker is the same as the educators without being broken in half. So this is the pre-observational stage. And then I also want to address that children at this stage learn to play pretend play. The third stage is concrete operational stage. So this stage occurs from 7 to 11. So some major characteristics: children become more logical and organized in a way that they think, starting to understand the concepts of conservation. So at this stage, children become less egocentric and think about how others might think and how might they feel, as well as understanding that their own thoughts are unique and not everybody shares the same opinions, feelings, intellect as well. Moving on, we have the last stage, which is the formal operational stage. So this stage occurs from 12 years and up. So this stage thing that happens at this stage is that these children become more abstract and reason about hypothetical problems. So they form the ability to plan and for the future and reason about hypothetical situations that might occur. So children, I mean, at this point, they're not much children, they're like teens, about to be teens and such. They try to plan the future, to try to think ahead what they want, what they think they want, trying to see what can happen or problems that they can solve. So yes, this is the 4 stages of cognitive development. And the second thing I have to share with you guys that Piaget had important concepts. So 4 important concepts that will be addressed is first schemas, categories of knowledge that helps to interpret and understand the world. So this is where, sorry, having notes here. So Piaget viewed schema that includes of knowledge, a category of knowledge, and the process of obtaining that knowledge. So when children come across different perspectives used to modify and adapting or changing previously existing schema. So an example of this would be, let's just say a child may have a schema about a particular animal, and this animal, let's just say it's a dog. The child understands and sees that this dog has 4 legs, is tall, and it's furry. So this schema is addressed to the child because the child has probably been around a dog for a while, or they have retained this knowledge about this dog, how this dog looks. But when a child comes across a different animal that has similar features to this dog, the child will automatically think that the animal is a dog as well, just because it has 4 legs maybe and has fur and is tall as well. But this is where they're evolving, and the next concept that will be addressed for now is going to change. So assimilation, so this process of taking in new information and applying to an existing schemas. So this is obviously with the dog concept. The child is learning that the dog that they saw first is a dog, but when somebody corrects or addresses that the new animal that they saw isn't a dog, and describes the differences that this different animal has, the child will tend to understand and correlate and concentrate on the fact that this new animal is not the same as that dog. As for the accommodation, the ability to change existing schemas in light of new information. And the fourth, before that, I want to address that I got kind of confused when I was researching assimilation and accommodation, because they kind of like sound the same in a way, but they're not. So I just wanted to address that assimilation is not rejecting new information, and accommodation is rejecting of an idea of the basis of learning something new, which is kind of made it clear for me. And as for the last concept, it's equilibration. So setting a balance, previous knowledge and changing behavior to account new knowledge. So Piaget believed that children try to find a balance between assimilation and accommodation, which explains how children can move from one stage to another. And that is what I have written back.